My name is Shinko. Welcome to my channel. We have been attempting to escape from reality with The Warriors Into the Wild by Erin Hunter. We are finishing chapter 21, and chapter 22 is a shorter one, so we're going to try and finish that. Greypaw, Firepaw, and Ravenpaw are in the middle of a terrible storm that's happening. ThunderClan's kids are gone, so is Yellowfang. They need to get Ravenpaw to safety, as well as find Yellowfang and the kids. Got a lot that's coming up. Alright. It was impossible to talk in the open expanse of Wind Clan territory. The wind howled around them while thunder and lightning rolled and flashed overhead. The three cats lowered their heads and pushed onward into the heart of the storm. Eventually, they reached the edge of the plateau that marks the end of Wind Clan's territory. "We can't take you any further, Ravenpaw," meowed Firepaw through the gale. "We have to get back and find Yellowfang before the storm has passed." Ravenpaw looked up through the battering rain, alarmed, but then he nodded. "Will you be able to find Barley alone?" yelled Firepaw. "Yes, I remember the way," answered Ravenpaw. "Watch out for those dogs," warned Greypaw. Ravenpaw nodded. "I will." Suddenly he frowned. "How can you be sure Barley will welcome me?" "Just tell him you caught an adder once," answered Greypaw, affectionately nudging his friend rain-soaked shoulder. "Go," Firepaw urged, aware that time was short. He licked Ravenpaw's skinny chest. "And don't worry, I'll make sure everyone knows you didn't betray ThunderClan." "What if Tigerclaw comes looking for me?" Ravenpaw's voice was small against this rumbling storm. Firepaw met his gaze steadily. "He won't. I will tell him you're dead." Chapter 22. Firepaw and Greypaw retraced their steps to ThunderClan's territory. Both cats were bone weary and wet through, but Firepaw kept up the pace. The storm was beginning to move away. A ThunderClan patrol would be soon out and on Yellowfang's tail. They'd have to find her first. The sky was still dark. Even though the black thunderclouds were beginning to roll away towards the horizon, Firepaw guessed that it must be nearly sunset. "Why don't we head straight into ShadowClan territory?" suggested Greypaw as they ran down the steep hillside into fort trees. "We need to pick up Yellowfang's scent first," Firepaw explained. "I just hope it won't lead to the ShadowClan camp." Greypaw glanced sideways at his friend, but didn't reply. They headed back over the stream into ThunderClan territory. There was no scent of Yellowfang until they crossed into the oak woods close to the camp. Now that the rain had finally stopped, the scents around them were beginning to return. Firepaw hoped that the rain had not washed away Yellowfang's trail completely. He stopped and brushed at a fern with the tip of his nose and recognized the familiar smell. Yellowfang's fierce scent pricked in his nostrils. "She came this way," he meowed. He pushed his way through the wet undergrowth. Greypaw followed. The rain was easing, and the thunder was fading into the distance. Time was running out. Firepaw pushed on faster. To his dismay, he realized Yellowfang's scent was indeed leading them straight to the ShadowClan's territory. His heart sank. Did this mean Tigerclaw's accusations were true? Firepaw began to hope that each new smell would take them into a different direction, but the trail was unfaltering. They arrived at the Thunderpath and halted. Several monsters roared by, throwing up fountains of dirty water. The two cats hung back from the edge of the wide gray track until there was a gap. Then they raced across the path and into ShadowClan territory. The scent markers that lined the border made Firepaw's paw tingle. Greypaw halted and looked around nervously. "I always thought I'd have a few more warriors with me when I finally entered ShadowClan territory," he confessed. Not afraid, are you? Firepaw murmured. Aren't you? My mother warned me about the stench of ShadowClan many times. My mother never taught me such things, Firepaw replied. But for the first time, he was relieved that his fur was so wet that it clung to his body. Greypaw might not notice the way it was bristling fiercely along his spine. The two cats prowled onward, alert to every sight and sound. Greypaw was on the lookout for ShadowClan patrols, and Firepaw for the ThunderClan party he knew must come soon. Yellowfang's scent trail led them steadily into the heart of ShadowClan's hunting grounds. The woods here were gloomy, the undergrowth crowded with nettles and brambles. I can't smell her, complained Greypaw. It's too wet. It's there, Firepaw assured him. I could smell that, though, Greypaw spat suddenly. What? Firepaw hissed. He stopped, alarmed. Kit scent. There's kit blood here! Firepaw sniffed again, seeking out the smell of ThunderClan offspring. I smell it too, he agreed. And something else. He flicked his tail down sharply, warning Greypaw to keep quiet. Then, silently, he signaled with his whiskers toward a blackened ash tree up ahead. Greypaw twitched his ears questioningly. Firepaw gave him a tiny nod. Yellowfang was sheltering behind the wide, split trunk. Instinctively, the two cats separated, each moving toward the tree, one on either side. They crept over the soft forest floor, using all the tricks of basic hunting, stepped lightly, keeping their bodies low. Then they leaped. Yellowfang yowled with surprise as the two cats landed beside her and pinned her to the ground. She struggled free, spitting, and backed into a sheltered hollow at the base of the trunk. Firepaw and Greypaw moved forward, blocking her way out. I knew ThunderClan would blame me, she hissed, her eyes flashing with all her old hostility. Where are the kits? Firepaw demanded. We could smell their blood, spat Greypaw. Have you harmed them? I don't have them, snarled Yellowfang angrily. I've come to find them and take them back. I stopped because I smelled blood too, but they're not here. Firepaw and Greypaw looked at one another. I don't have them, insisted Yellowfang. Why did you run away then? Why did you kill Spotted Leaf? Greypaw asked the questions Firepaw couldn't bring himself to say out loud. Spotted Leaf is dead? There was no mistaking the shock in Yellowfang's voice. Relief washed over Firepaw. You didn't know? He croaked. How could I? I left the camp as soon as I heard the kids were missing. Greypaw looked suspicious, but Firepaw could hear the truth in her voice. I know who has taken the kits, she continued. I smelled his scent near the nursery. Who was it? Firepaw asked. Clawface, one of Broken Star's warriors, and as long as the kits are with ShadowClan, they're in great danger. But surely even ShadowClan wouldn't harm kids, Firepaw protested. Don't be so sure, spat Yellowfang. Broken Star intends to use them as warriors. But they're only 3 moons old, Greypaw gasped. That hasn't stopped him before. He has been training kids as young as 3 moons since he became leader. At 5 moons, he sends them out as warriors. Surely they'd be too small to fight, Firepaw protested. But in his mind's eye, he pictured the undersized ShadowClan apprentices he had seen at the gathering. They weren't just small. They were still kids. Yellowfang hissed scornfully. Broken Star doesn't care about that. He has plenty more kids to spare, and if they run out, he could steal them from other clans. Her voice was filled with rage. After all, we're talking about a cat who's killed kids from his own clan. Firepaw and Greypaw were stunned. If he killed ShadowClan's kids, why wasn't he punished? Firepaw asked at last. Because he lied, growled Yellowfang. Bitterness made her voice hard. He accused me of their murder, and ShadowClan believed him. Firepaw suddenly understood. This is why you were driven out of ShadowClan. You have to come back with us and tell all this to Blue Star. Not before I have rescued your kits, Yellowfang spat. Firepaw lifted his head and sniffed the air. The rain had stopped, and the wind was dying down. The ThunderClan patrol would be well on its way. They were not safe here. Greypaw still seemed shocked by Yellowfang's accusation. How could a leader kill kids from his own clan? He demanded. Burkestar insisted on training them too hard and too young. He took 2 of the kids away for battle practice. Yellowfang took a deep, wheezing breath. They were only 4 months old. They were already dead when he brought them back to me. They bore the scratches and bites of a full warrior, not of apprentices. He must have fought them himself. There was nothing I could do. When their mother came to see them, Burkestar was with me. He said that he found me standing over their dead bodies. Her voice cracked. She looked away. Why didn't you tell her it was Burkestar? Firepaw asked in disbelief. I couldn't. Yellowfang shook her head. Why not? The old she-cat hesitated. When she spoke, her voice was heavy with regret. Burkestar is ShadowClan's leader. Noble Ragged was his father. His word is law. Firepaw looked away and the 3 cats sat in silence for a moment. Then Firepaw meowed. We'll rescue the kids together, tonight. But we can't stay here. I can smell the ThunderClan patrol coming. He paused. If Tiger Claw's with them, Yellowfang doesn't stand a chance. He'll kill her before we can explain. Yellowfang looked at him, alert and determined again. There's peat this way. It'll be wet after the rain, she told him. Our scents will be disguised here. Disguised there. She leaped into a clump of ferns, and Firepaw, Greypaw quickly followed her. They could hear the rustling of undergrowth in the distance now. It was no longer the wind that disturbed the bushes, but an approaching patrol, no doubt hungry for revenge and fired up by Tiger Claw's lies. An eerie stillness settled over the woods, and a thin fog was beginning to gather between the tree trunks. Firepaw shook the droplets off his coat and impatiently pulled a burr off his chest. Yellowfang led them onward. The ground grew soggier, and their paws began to sink into the soft peat. The musty smell choked Firepaw's nostrils, but at least it would mask their own trail. Behind them, the noise of cats grew louder. Quick, under here, Yellowfang urged, ducking under a broad-leafed bush. The 3 cats crouched beneath it, drawing in their tails. Firepaw kept as still as he could, trying to ignore the rank wetness of the ground seeping into his belly fur. Listened to the rustling of ThunderClan patrol as it came nearer and nearer. We're on chapter 23 now. I am going to end it here. I want to explain something about the clan territories and the map. I'm going to show you the map and explain a little bit about the environment. Okay. Obviously, it's mirrored and reversed for you, but you know, this is the clans. So, ShadowClan camp is up here in the corner. This road right here is a thunder path going all the way down. That's the thunder path. So that's the road. So there's ShadowClan, and ThunderClan camp is right there, which is not too far from the road. WindClan is all the way over here. 4 trees is right here. So, Firepaw, Ravenpaw, and Graypaw went from ThunderClan to Four Trees through WindClan to get to Barley's farm right here. But they didn't go all the way to Barley's farm, only Ravenpaw did. They just got to the edge of WindClan camp. Then, the Thunder Path, right here. They went to the Thunder Path. And they're hoping, Firepaw was hoping around here maybe Yellow Fang was at. She goes right past the Thunder Path, or right along the Thunder Path, somewhere around here. Now, just so you could get a better picture of it, of where they traveled, where they went through. Okay, so do you think Yellow Fang's innocent? Do you think she was telling the truth? This Ravenpaw is safe. He's going to Barley. He's safe. Don't have to worry about him. The 9th through the 13th, I am going to Arizona. My husband and I are visiting my son, spending a few days there. I am taking this with me, and I will, of course, my hope is that I will be able to upload. I will have internet, but I can't promise every day, so I do apologize ahead of time for that. Life gets busy sometimes. Even when you're escaping from reality, life will get you. So now they gotta save the kids. And we're not too far from the end, just that bit left. And then we can move on to the second book, which, Fire and Ice. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Be safe out there. People are crazy and stupid. Bye.